Hey there gang, Koei here, and as I play the gorillionth hour of Dynasty Warriors Origins, I realize there might be people out there that are struggling with trying to get into Ultimate Warrior difficulty and end up getting all of the rewards from that. Because you need quite a bit of weapon proficiency. You need to be recommended around like level 70 to tackle some of the Ultimate Warrior challenges, and you might be wondering why it's taking you so long to go ahead and level up and get all of those skill points and all of that weapon proficiency. Well, I've got an easy way for you to do it. If this helps, consider liking and subscribing. Now, a couple things you might want to do to make this more efficient. There is an item you can equip that ends up increasing all of the rewards that you get from combat, but increases the damage that you take. If you're confident in your parrying and dodging abilities, I'd recommend throwing this on. Also, if you're going to try to grind for weapon proficiency, consider getting one of the training weapons that are unlocked in post-game. These massively increase the proficiency that you are able to get, but it allows enemies to break your guard. So you've really got to make sure, again, you're confident with those parries and those dodges. The mission you're going to want to tackle is the subjugation of Yuan Shu. And this is not just because I enjoy continually beating Yuan Shu's face into a bloody pulp. It is actually incredibly efficient and ends up leading to you fighting multiple large armies with nigh infinite enemies. Now, what you see me playing through is on the hero difficulty. I did try playing it on Ultimate Warrior just to do some testing, but have realized that the skill point bonuses are negligible, and it takes a lot longer to go through this with the increased health pool of enemies. So you might as well just do it on hero. You can tackle the Ultimate Warrior challenge later. When we end up finally going through the castle and clearing out absolutely every single enemy we can, and the charge is ready, we charge directly into Yuan Shu's forces. Still one of the coolest things in this game, I gotta say. Executing these charges and ambushes is absolutely wonderful, an amazing feeling. Then, when you finally get into Yuan Shu's main force, this is where the exploits begin. You see, Yuan Shu will summon an infinite amount of enemies, and I do mean infinite. He will also occasionally use his Imperial Seal to go ahead and buff everyone and rally their morale. You can choose to ignore this, or you can choose to cut him down. But just remember, if you end up beating Yuan Shu, the fight is going to immediately end. So you might want to just consider reducing his HP in order to prevent the use of his grand tactic, and then getting a bunch of easy kills off of that. Now, the key to truly making this efficient is making excellent use of how the enemies spawn. The enemies will always spawn behind Yuan Shu on the two ramps leading up to his castle behind him. So if you go ahead and park yourself directly on those ramps, you can get a ton of easy kills with your weapon as enemies try to go ahead and force their way down the ramp. Either side works. You can just go ahead and push through, defeat the officers, use your Musou attacks, legitimately whatever works. You can just continually plow through these enemies, and there's not really much they can do considering the limited amount of space that they've got to work with. Basically, any weapon that you have available will hit absolutely everybody on these ramps. Just make sure you're not trying to hit outside of the ramp areas where the enemies spawn. If you hit the point where it says you can't run in that particular direction, your attacks won't hit the enemies and won't do any damage or get you any KOs. So just make sure you're keeping that in mind and deleting as many enemies as possible. Also, make sure you keep an eye on your allies. You're going to need to occasionally ride past your allies to get them a little bit of extra health, because if any of your main generals are defeated, Sun Ce, Liu Bei, Cao Cao, or Lo Bu, well, the mission is going to immediately end, and we don't want to lose all of that experience, even though Origins is very generous with their checkpoints. And once you finish the fight, just take a ganderino at the reward screen I have here, because the proof is in the pudding. We got a decent amount of weapons from all the officers that we ended up beating. Most of this we're just going to sell for money to get things like Arbor Grass. But the important thing is the amount of weapon skill and skill points that we got. We got a huge amount of weapon skill from the amount of enemies that we cut through, and I did all of this testing without the training weapons equipped. So if you do use the training weapons, expect a significant increase in the amount of weapon skill you acquire. And as far as skill points, hundreds of skill points. When the true warrior skill tree ends up needing 150, 200, etc. skill points to be able to unlock a single skill, being able to grind this out is going to be very helpful in ensuring your Ziluan gets to his maximum potential. Then you can start tackling ultimate mode challenges. Hopefully this video ended up helping you out. Be sure to remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, etc. Let me know if you found a more beneficial, more efficient way to grind in Dynasty Warriors Origins. I really don't think there is anything better than this particular mission for that. And let me know what route in the game was your best. I really have enjoyed so far all of the multiple routes in the game. I'm really hoping there's DLC that takes us past the Battle of Chibi so we can go ahead and experience the rest of the Three Kingdoms story. And I think there's an amazing groundwork here for the future of the Dynasty Warriors series. Anyways, gang, that's it for me, Koei50. I hope you all have a phenomenal day, and I'll see you all in the next one.